Josh Raven here with the Daily Dot at the IEM League of Legends event in Cologne, joined by Uber, one of the latest additions to the casting desk here for this tournament. And from what I know, you pretty much cast almost anything you can get your hands on. You cast a wide number of games, but you've done a little bit of League. This is your first major League tournament, and how have you found it so far? You did that first best of 3 from Dig and QGC. How did you find that?
It was good. I mean, good games, honestly. I was really looking forward to see how QG would perform outside of the confines of China, as it were. But I mean, like for me as well, it's been I've been wanting to get involved with League at this level for a long time, so it was an absolute blast. And casting with Frost was great as well, really knowledgeable, so I just had a great time overall. Man, it was good.
And League of Legends as a game, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, you casted a wide coverage of games, FPS, MOBAs. Is there anything that stands out from League as a caster? Is it very different to cast from any other games? What's unique about this game?
I think for me as well, like League of Legends, while I haven't cast a lot of that, I cast everything that I can with ESL. It's been a game that I've loved casting for a long time, since I was doing it back in Australia before we had a Riot office and stuff like that, and it was sort of, open season on who could cast what. But the game is nuanced but easy to understand. So you're operating on multiple levels as well, which is great because the storyline is easy to build up, and the best part is for me is that you have a defined and very visible build up to these climactic moments where the whole game can sort of rest on that.
As you just mentioned there, you moved from Australia to come and cast in Cologne for ESL. What's that been like? I'm not sure how long you've been here in Cologne, but you've come here, you've settled in pretty well, casting a wide coverage of things. What's it been like moving your whole life to Cologne for casting?
Yeah, Aussie is a pretty big move. I'd never lived out of home before. I was very much in my little bubble, sort of in a little town called Adelaide in South Australia. But I mean, Big move, of course, but at the end of the day, it wasn't a complicated decision. It was a very easy one to make. I knew what I wanted to do. I had university study behind me, but I was more interested in esports and sort of gave that away. So, yeah, tough move to leave my family and friends and all that stuff, but settling here in Cologne was actually quite easy to do. I mean, I find the people in Europe very, very friendly, especially here as well, and even with ESL has been very welcoming, has made things easy for me, even like helping with me with things that, obviously my language barrier would prevent me from otherwise doing. So, yeah, 6 months it's been, so I'd like to think it was a fairly smooth transition, to be honest, so very just glad to be here in general, man.
And I say this a bit early, you've only just casted your first major best of 3 tournament, but looks like it went pretty well. Are you planning on continue with the League of Legends? You want to keep trucking on with that?
I'd love to, I really would. I mean, for me especially, and I'll happily have this on record, it's probably my favourite game to cast out of all of them. I mean, I'm an all-round caster, probably more by necessity than by personal desire. It's a role I feel here at ESL, and I love casting in and of itself, you know what I mean? So I'm happy enough to do that, but obviously everyone has their favourite games and their favourite titles to do. So I gladly get all the League of Legends actions that I possibly can. I mean, that's what I've been doing since being at ESL, but that normally manifests in smaller shows like Go for Lols or monthly cups or even the Meisterschaft, which is like the German championship. So I would say, yeah, I'd love to do more as much as I can, as I have been so far.
Okay. Obviously, it's early days for the tournament. We've only played 1 game, but I'm going to throw you in at the deep end already and ask you who you think is going to be the winner, or if there are any particular matches that you think are worth, that you're looking forward to in particular.
I think this match that we're about to see now, that's running at the moment, of course, Cloud9 versus H2K, will be definitive in how the rest of the tournament shapes up. I mean, it's hard to call, I feel, between these two. Uncertainty obviously is almost implied when it comes to these roster changes. I mean, I did go back and I actually watched the Kesper Cup as it happened and saw whatever we're able to do there as well against the odds and just go forward. So for me, if that Kesper Cup performance wasn't just them riding on a high of momentum, I think they'll win here. I think there's been a bit of time in between then and now. If not them, then I would say the winner of Cloud9 on H2K would threaten. Fnatic, of course, looks strong. They still have their strong core, of course, in the mid and bottom lane, but it's such a big change and it's bound to set a team reeling for a while before they redevelop.
Okay, and to end things off, do we know when you're casting next at this tournament first?
I'll be casting tomorrow, actually, in one of the semi-finals yet, so that is sort of TBA kind of thing. I think I'll be jumping on with Papa Smithy, which will be great because, I mean, he's from Australia as well. That's where he sort of made his way, and I never actually got to cast with him, but I watched a lot of his stuff as well. He was already hammering out the China Second League, League of Legends stuff while I was just getting into the scene as well. So be sometime tomorrow, but with him, so it's going to be a blast.
And what about after IEM Cologne? Have you got any plans for the new year, or are you just settling in for Christmas, having a little break?
Yeah, it's very much all up in the air as well. I think like what we do, I mean, as a company and shows-wise as well, is not always locked in sort of until maybe the new year. We'll probably have a few weeks where we're not doing a whole lot and just sort of planning things out. So for me, my plan is just to, again, just do whatever I can get my hands on, man. Simple as that.
Well, thank you very much for the interview.
Pleasure, man. All good.